have an idea. So here's my idea. I'm on Thingiverse, and I want to make a nice, cool pull for my light chain there. And I thought, what would be cooler than the Jupiter 2 spaceship? And it appears he has this in two files. One is the whole spaceship and one with it split, so you can glue it together and you can have details on top and bottom. So I downloaded this object and I'm going to import it into Tinkercad. And let's see, it's in my, here we go. It's in a directory and a subdirectory. And Jupiter 2 split. So there's the file. I'm going to select that, hit open. Now it doesn't just come onto your work surface. You have to go over here. I've got it in here. Choose file, Jupiter 2, etc., etc. Scale 100%. I think we'll make it a little smaller than that. Let's make it about 80% and import it. Little bar's working. Boom, there it is. I just happen to have a little bit of silver filament left. Now to make this into a pull, I have to have a cylinder, and I've measured the diameter of the ball chain and the little coupler piece on the bottom. And the ball chain itself is an 1/8 inch. It's actually a little bit under, which is 4.17 millimeter. The coupler is about 4 millimeters. So I need a clearance hole. I want to put the coupler, I want to have the chain coming down through the center here and the coupler hidden up inside of this. So I want the, I need to clearance the coupler so it can slide up inside, but have this hole here in the top be only 1/8 of an inch, so it will stop the coupler, so the coupler won't get through. So I'm going to print this at 3.2 millimeter, which is about 1/8 of an inch. And this needs to be my top hole. I'm going to drag it over here, and it doesn't quite come through there. Let me raise it up 5 millimeter. There we go. Now I need to center that. Now this is all one object that I can't ungroup. So if I were to use my centering tool, it would probably put it right here. But I can use the centering tool to get it in the center from top to bottom, and that'll help me do alignment. So let me grab this whole thing here and adjust, align, center. It should be in the middle. And it actually looks like it's in the middle left to right too. It's pretty close. Okay, this piece here needs to go underneath of it. And I think I'm going to shorten the height of it to, let's say, about 12 millimeters. That ought to be enough. Let's make it 13. That's about 1/2 inch. That'll be enough to hide the ball chain coupler up inside of it. And really, I did this wrong. I really want to center. Woo, what am I doing? Must have grabbed that little white block for stretching that. Really what I want to do is center these two objects and group them. Adjust, align, center. Okay, so there's what my hole is going to look like. Let me group it. Let me make it a hole. And just to give you an idea of where the big hole ends, I'm just kind of sliding it in there. Okay, so now let me center it on the horizontal axis. Adjust, align, and I'm going to hit this. And I'm going to look at it this way. So I'm centered perfectly that way. But the question is, am I centered this way? Now, in order to get rid of any weird angles here, I'm going to move this into the center of the screen. Wow, it really looks like I've got that dead in the center there just by luck. I've done that twice in a row. So let's copy this. And now I'm going to use my left arrow and move it over and put it in the center of the base. And the big diameter is emerging up through here, just like we wanted. And I've got to get well, I know it's centered this way because I just copied it and it sets it on the side and I slewed it across. So now we got to see if it's centered. We got to get it centered in this dimension now. Now notice I'm looking kind of down the side of this. It's got kind of a fisheye effect and my eyeball's right here. And so I'm seeing the side of that object, that whole object that I created. So I need to slew this whole thing over. So I'm going to hold the shift key down, right mouse button, and slide this over. And now you can see I can get directly above it. And it looks like I need to go to the left a little bit more. Let's try 1/2 millimeter. Yeah, that felt like too much. Let's come back a little bit. Now that feels like about the center. Now if I'm a little bit misaligned between these two holes, it won't matter because I can run a drill bit up in here after I glue it together. Wow, now that I'm looking at this, it doesn't really look like it's in the center of the dome, does it? I'm going to select that item. We're going to zoom way in on it. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's actually get it centered. And I'm looking at the distortion of the shadow it's showing me to kind of center that. Let me slide it around this way. That looks so much better. This is the view that really counts. Yeah, I think I got it as close to the center in this direction as I can. I use the program to center it this way, so I don't want to mess with that. And let me pull this in and look at it again. Wow, I think I got that in the middle. Maybe it's a little closer that way. Let's select it. Yeah, I'd say it looks pretty good. I'm going to be happy with that. Alright, before I import this into Repetier to print, I need to group this so that these objects will actually have a hole. There we go. Now I can download them for 3D printing. I've got my light settings here where where I'm not printing a solid object. It's just 2 shells and 25% fill. It says 11.3 meters of filament. I don't know if I have that much. Let's give it a go. Heating extruder. I will show you the results. Here's my prototype filament roller. I haven't done a video on this yet. Have some more modifications for it. We'll talk about it later. I guess this is gray, not silver properly. There we go. This is the menu for loading and unloading filament, and I find I have to do 2 pushes, 2 segments of filament to push in to get a clean color change. So let it run through another, I don't know, a couple inches of plastic. Emergency. Got some junk hanging on there. Can't have that. I see one more little bit of debris that can fall into my print and mess it up. I think I got it. Check it out. There's 20 minutes of printing left. We are running out of plastic. We are running out of plastic. Since I've got the door open for filming, I've got the openings covered up to try to keep it warm in there. 3D printing works, especially with ABS, you want to keep the build area nice and warm. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Alright, we have about a dozen wraps left on the spool. There's about 20 segments in the side here, and I've counted that it's turning about 18 segments every minute. We've got 10.5 minutes left. So maybe the family Robinson will find their way home after all. Well, folks, we've got 6 or 7 wraps left on the spool, and it looks like we are working on the, what is it, the radar tower up there? Observation tower? I don't know. It is almost done. Awesome. Now we got to wait for it to cool. As it in its orbit comes around into the sunshine. Probably could have printed it at a lower resolution or higher resolution. We'll smooth it and see what it looks like after that. So here we are. We have our Jupiter 2. I was right, we have a little bit of a layer here that didn't take too well on the windowsill, but there's a layer above it that's good, so I can carve that away. What I'm going to do first is glue this together by solving it with acetone. And I'm just going to get some out of here with a little rolled up piece of paper towel. Put some on that side, put some on this side. Let that plastic soften a little bit. Now I'm going to see if I can get a couple of drops. And let's put it together. Just like that. I think I could possibly print a better one. But for now, I'm going to work on this one. Drill my holes open. Now here's a lesson on measuring drill bits, and I realize I'll shade this scale so you can see it. You put the bit in and turn it to open up the tool. Careful not to go all the way through. There it is. So there we have it. The Jupiter 2. The Jupiter 2 as a light fob. Awesome. Now, I'm going to clean up this little flaw here, and then we're going to acetone smooth it. I gotta say, this is the first thing I've printed off of Thingiverse that pleases me. It would probably look better printed in PLA. So now let's see if we can get some acetone in our jar and smooth it. Look, we have a problem, NASA. We have a solution. My Boy Scout cook kit. I can't see inside of it, so I won't know if it's melting. A little loop where I fed it back in the hole. And then I think I can come up through this hermetically sealed handle hole somehow or another. There we go. I think we're good. Into the acid you go! Uh-oh. Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that I can use this bed in the 3D printer to heat this acetone and make this happen faster. Remember the last time I smoothed something, it took hours. So the idea of heating this came from Evil Twin X. He thought I should use a coffee cup heater. I'm going to set this at 61C. And we'll let it go. If I pass out, somebody call the ambulance. Alright, let's check it. It's been a few minutes. It's got a glossy appearance. I think this is working. Feels slightly sticky. Alright, let's check it out again. Whoa, it is wet looking. I think I better stop there. Jupiter 2 will sit here and cure, and it should be very smooth when we come back.
Danger, Will Robinson.
So here we are. It's not sticky anymore, but it sure is a lot shinier looking and a lot smoother looking. I think it takes a rather coarse print and makes it look a lot better. Let's see what it looks like in place. I think we'll shorten this a little bit. So there we are. We can take any object we find that's available in an STL file and produce a cool fan or pull chain light fob out of it. This has been another project on the Crafted channel. Please like, share, and subscribe my videos. It gives me the energy and the reason to continue. I would love to do this more and more as the future progresses, and more subscribers is what I need to make that dream a reality. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one.